It's an incredible product that is built by incredible engineers. Now, these engineers have not only built a great search engine, they've also built some amazing capabilities: an internet-scale infrastructure, machine learning plant, ability to understand user intent, make sense of a lot of unstructured content on the web. Now, it turns out that all these things can be actually quite valuable even beyond the search box. For a long time, we've had this vision that you can take these capabilities and enable a whole bunch of new experiences, and that was the journey that we started down on a couple of years ago. Now, you can see, of course, search is a huge, huge piece of what Bing is about, but we started to extract some of the capabilities out. So, for example, the web index and relevance, huge capability with lots of potential. Entities and knowledge, the ability to extract, conflate, and to organize entities into an ontology so that you can now start reasoning over information as opposed to just looking at it as pieces of text. NUI capabilities, natural user interfaces, are all about understanding user intent. Now, turns out that the great work that was done in Bing can be pivoted into a lot of interesting natural user interface technologies. And then there is about the real world. You know, the web has become sort of a proxy for the real world that we live in, and we sort of go back and forth between those. And it turns out in Bing, we had to tackle that problem. So is there a way that we could take all these capabilities out and then start enabling some first-party experiences? Now, Antoine talked about and Julie talked about some great features in Windows 8.1. The search arm, the ability to use Bing to really make apps discoverable in the marketplace. You know, some examples. We've had the Translator app, which is this brilliant, new, interesting application on Windows 8. So that's one example. When you look at Office, Office 2013 has some award-winning Bing apps for Office, which allow you to think about Office not just as a set of tools, but also to connect it into the web and information that naturally belongs inside those applications. We've seen the GeoFlow application in Office 2013, which lets you render a lot of content on top of this beautiful real-world canvas. Xbox 360, some great NUI work was done by Bing. You know, you saw that, how you access into entertainment information. With Xbox One, that goes completely to a new level. And then, you know, there's other things like the Windows Phone 8, which has just lots and lots of Bing's functionality, which is built in. Now, folks, I learned a lesson in the 90s when I was a developer on the Windows operating system. And that is that if we can do something with an API that is good, third parties can do something with it which is dynamite. So today, what I'm here to announce with you is the availability of Bing as a platform for you, the developers. So let me tell you what all you can do with this. With entities and knowledge, now firstly, with web index and relevance, we already have a bunch of Bing APIs which are used by tens of thousands of developers today, mostly using the search pattern. Now let's talk about entities and knowledge. Now think of it as being the brain, the knowledge of the web, the unbounded knowledge of the web is now available to your applications. Let's talk about natural user interfaces. The ears and the mouth and the eyes, these capabilities which have never been available for developers in a large-scale way, we are providing through the new Bing platform. And then for the real world, we want to bring a whole lot of new mapping and visualization capabilities, and also capabilities with which you can connect the real world with the virtual world through a set of APIs and controls. Now, I can talk a lot about APIs, but I thought it might be interesting to show you what you can do with these APIs. Now, what we did here is that we put ourselves in your shoes and built an interesting application. This application, this is not a shipping application by any stretch, but it's an application to exemplify the use of these controls. So this application